Holy shit. Before we get into the topic of this video, in the making of it, I just found out that Facebook deleted and purged nearly the majority of alternative media on Facebook. We're talking about pages like the Anti-Media, Free Thought Project, Press for Truth, pages with millions of followers were just deleted, and other critical thinkers like Rachel Blevins in a massive purge of alternative media, both from the left and the right. And we told you, it began with Alex Jones, and it's going to end with anyone's questioning the status quo, and we are in that phase now. And it's only a matter of time until they come for us, so please sign up on our email newsletter with this link being available to you in the description below of this video. It's more important than ever. And of course, stay tuned to this channel because we're going to be interviewing Dan Dix and other people who are affected by this purge right after this video. And now, somehow moving forward away from this crazy situation developing right now, of course, the world's eyes and ears are on Donald Trump and Kanye West today. Not important topics like the US petrodollar being dropped worldwide, Trump putting us on a pathway to war with Iran while funding pedophilia in Afghanistan, not a journalist being brutally killed inside of a Saudi embassy, not China legalizing re-education camps after denying that they existed, sending their citizens into those camps for eating halal, having unusual names, or having abnormal beards. No. Those topics, which mainly alternative media talks about and concentrates on and is being punished and censored because of it right now, no, those topics aren't important. People want to talk about Kanye West and Donald Trump, the social cultural war that's going on that everyone wants to talk about. And you know what? Fine. We'll talk about the culture war. Fine. We'll talk about the culture war, but let's have a real discussion about it. And I do believe that there are some legitimate takeaways and issues that could be brought up in this cancerous topic that is being thrown on the American public in their political discourse that we could actually take some things away from. Now, to begin this topic, we all have to understand that we are living in a hyper-sensational media landscape where media organizations, of course, prioritize getting views first over, of course, ethics or any kinds of principles. And they, of course, escalate things with emotions, also using the terms breaking news and urgent, which have seemed to lost their utter meaning. And that's why today most journalists, pundits, or reporters are really just emotional actors playing up to what they think people want, eventually just spreading brain cancer. So let's take a look at the cancer today, as Donald Trump and Kanye West were supposed to talk about prison reform, which I believe is a very legitimate issue and a major concern for our society, especially because in the land of the free, we have the biggest prison population in the entire world. And that's definitely not the issue that the media is talking about today. Gee, what a surprise there. And you can't say that Kanye West didn't give the sensational media what they wanted, with him going on a very long rant talking about a slurry of issues, including how he was diagnosed to be bipolar, talked about empowering pharmaceuticals, quickly even changing subjects to how Donald Trump needs to upgrade Air Force One, even talked about how him, Colin Kaepernick, and Donald Trump would sing the national anthem at the next Super Bowl. And the sensational media erupted and ate up every second of it, even though they publicly detested it. And Kanye West did go on a very long rant talking about a lot of issues, whether it was mental health, jobs, problems with welfare, manufacturing inside of the United States. But there was one point that I think is worth considering, and that was when Kanye West was talking about his upbringing, being a part of a single home household, being raised, of course, by his mother, and also at the same time being a part of a family that doesn't have much of a male influence, since, you know, Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner. And he talked about how people from broken homes are more likely to commit crimes, which is statistically true, and of course fuels the prison industrial complex, which he attributed to the breakdown of the family unit. Which I think, from all the madness, is actually an important concept to actually consider and look into, especially with what's happening with the direction that the media is trying to push society in. And of course, the media didn't want to talk about that. And pundits, like on MSNBC, just publicly freaked out, characterizing this whole thing as an assault on the White House, and mainly criticized him because he said that the MAGA hat made him feel like an actual man, since of course he didn't have a father figure, mainly attacking him on his comments comments about male masculinity. And now, of course, on the completely other spectrum, right-wing pundits and right-wing news organizations decided to celebrate this moment. And I think it's definitely worth examining and looking into how the media responds to incidences like this, wherein celebrities get involved in politics. And I do have to say, it is kind of baffling to see CNN, the supposed most trusted name in news, go out and call Kanye West a token N-word or a dumb N-word on their broadcasts. Other news outlets having emotional meltdowns because of this. And with this particular case, it is people on the left freaking out emotionally and people on the right celebrating. But those boxes get switched up many times, like we just saw with Taylor Swift, who the right-wingers were freaking out about emotionally because she decided to back a Democratic candidate in her local district. And this, of course, led to the left-wing media celebrating it. And I find it utterly hilarious with so many instances of all these pundits one day saying this celebrity should just stick to making songs and dribbling a basketball, and then the next day praising someone who is on their side, showing, of course, major lack of cognitive functions. One day sitting at the anchor desk saying, no, celebrities should be totally out of politics, and another day totally praising it. And what you're seeing here is, of course, gang mentality. Reason, logic, critical thinking, all of those things are out the door, and they serve the major agenda of divide and conquering the masses. No matter what it is, skin color, religion, class, nationality, language, social customs, sexual identity, profession, political identity. None of those things matter to any of these supposed journalists as identified by their total lack of principles on these issues. All they want to do is win, no matter what intellectual fallacy that they have to jump over, they will. Why do they do this? Well, of course, it works for their agenda, it gets them views, and most importantly, it works for the agenda of the interests who control them, who want people squabbling within each other and not looking up at these interests, mega multinational corporations, corrupted government officials, and other people who are screwing us over. This is how it works, and it's only going to get worse from here. Now, critically looking at this, the celebrities love it too, and they're going to be doing it more. I mean, we even saw frickin' Kanye West in 2013 don and wear the Confederate flag as, of course, a major publicity stunt. This is nothing new. They're going to be taking advantage of this situation more than ever. And my 2 cents on this entire situation, whether it's Kanye West, Taylor Swift, James Woods, LeBron James, whoever it may be, whatever political ideology you have, share it. We're supposed to be living in a free country where you could express yourself, and you're entitled to an opinion, especially in a society where almost everything is now becoming political. I think more discussion is great, and even though it's sometimes pretty crazy and out there, and sometimes I disagree with it, I still want more of the dialogue and more of the discussion to happen, and less people persecuted because of it. This is why I believe in free speech and will even fight for it for the people that I disagree with. And we have to admit, sometimes they foster good things, like we saw when Kim Kardashian met with Donald Trump and was able to free a man who was serving a life sentence for having marijuana and cocaine on him. And prison reform is a major issue that this country needs to fix, and I hope this somehow spurs the dialogue, even though the media is distracting that topic from even moving forward. And I think that's the concept that a lot of people need to wrap their head around, is that the mainstream media is utterly cancer, and they're becoming more cancerous. The Huffington Post just released an investigative piece detailing and reporting how a member of Trump's administration would pour glue on his arm, let it dry, and ate it in 3rd grade. How's that news? Even worse, look at the BBC. Look what the BBC run. The BBC, which is financed by the public in the United Kingdom. This is their headline. Quantum physics really helped me understand my queer identity. What the And yeah, that's the state of our hyperbolic, hyper-sensational media right now that is more concerned with dividing and conquering people rather than actually talking about the real issues. And it's not only prison reform that's being swept underneath the rug. Again, it's also serious economic discussions about the US petrodollar, the brewing conflict between the United States and Iran, the continued conflict in Afghanistan, which your tax dollars are used to finance pedophiles in, journalists being assassinated, citizens being put in re-education camps, massive human rights violations happening right now as governments are becoming more of a totalitarian police state all around the world. Yeah, but frick that. We got this thing here that, that discovered quantum physics and what? Now, nothing against this individual person, but this story and this headline and this concentration of crap is what the problem is. And guess what? Before it's too late, this could actually all be stopped with you not clicking on it and incentivizing it. It's a car crash. I know you want to see a car crash, but there's only so many of them you could see before you get tired of just watching all these metaphoric political car crashes that are happening in our society. And if you could be aware of that, I think it's a step in the right direction. And if you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members. And gosh darn it, once again, please sign up on our email list. It will be the first link in our description. Before we are totally eviscerated, deleted, completely censored, we will still be able to talk to you one-on-one through our newsletter, which of course we're expanding into many different topics. And we're going to have many exciting developments with as we're moving away from the big tech monopolies that of course want to control the discourse, navigate it, and expand the brain cancer that they're filling it with. But yeah, you're here for a reason, and that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.